Another day, another launch of a handheld media device with even more functions to entice the growing legion of electronic readers.
Over the last 10 years, essentially it's gone from very basic devices with simple black and white screens, and now we're seeing gadgets like the iPad with bright colour screens, video, web access, music playback, pretty much anything you can do on a laptop PC.
The biggest challenge is differentiation. When everybody's making a digital reader, what's the difference between all these different devices? For us, it's pretty clear. It's touchscreen, and it's just library loading, to be able to get books from your library.
A far cry from the products of yesteryear. By 2012, the global sales of e-readers could reach 20 million.
We now have mass merchandisers, sort of the supermarkets. We're seeing consumer electronics stores taking on the product, and now computer specialists as well. So we're at a point now where GfK are tracking over 11,000 outlets in the UK holding this type of product.
We started with e-readers about 2.5 years ago. We started with only 5 SKUs, 5 products, and now we have 25. So we have a lot more choices for the customer.
The market for tablets, webbooks and e-readers now has new momentum, spurred on by an explosion in the number of models, content and applications. But whether combining traditional reading experiences with innovative digital channels will drive a new era of profitability remains to be seen. It helps that the model for monetizing this market already exists, with consumers successfully paying for applications on their iPhone and for digital copies of novels.
With these devices, content is absolutely king. Without books, this is a piece of digital junk. So we've been working really hard with the people like Google, with some of the UK's biggest publishers like HarperCollins, Random House, just to make more books available.
And not just books. The real driver could come from a sector that has struggled in recent years.
I think it's a real opportunity for the newspaper publishers in particular. I don't think their traditional models are broken, but we all know that they need to invest into multi-revenue business, become multi-revenue businesses. I think they're doing that relatively successfully.
Many publishers now have iPad applications. Take the FT. 400,000 people have downloaded its app, and already 10% of its subscriptions have come through this medium.
I think they like it because, well, it's a little bit like that Harry Potter newspaper. It's print but come to life, so it's got the video, it's got the interactive graphics. It's much more than just a newspaper, but it's got the advantage of the newspaper in that it's finite. There's a beginning and a middle and an end, which people do like.
All of a sudden you can get T3 magazine, or you can get your magazine out to multiple markets at very, very low cost. So the money that you put in creating the content, could come back tenfold when you open up to a market like the US, where at the moment T3 magazine isn't sold.
The main beneficiary from this explosion of hardware and software is the consumer. But early adopters in the past sometimes pay the price, like those who chose HD DVD over Blu-ray or Betamax over VHS.
The consumer needs to remember the battles between the various video formats, for example, and bear in mind there will be winners and there will be losers, and so when you're backing a piece of hardware, be aware that it could end up being the loser.
Certain players just get the formula right, the combination of the form factor, the price point, the availability of content and applications, and the marketing and brand that associates that. There will be many players who try, and there'll be many players who don't have all the ingredients in their arsenal and therefore won't be able to compete against the likes of Apple and Amazon.
And if you're wondering where the next battleground is, it's breaking into the boardroom. If the consumer market is big, the business market could be massive.
I think there's a great opportunity which is pretty much yet untapped in the business market for such devices. We already see a lot of business users using devices such as the iPad for their day-to-day work. This isn't yet endorsed as a corporate product, but it is getting there.
And this looks set to redefine the market once again. Predicting the writing on the wall, with these devices, it reads like a good digital thriller.